Welcome, replay viewers. This is actually a special, take two. So earlier today, we had an issue with power and we had an issue with lagging. And because of that, at some point, I picked up a clicking. And I know that if it irritated me, it's probably going to irritate you as a replay viewer trying to listen to the content. So I am doing a replay for me. So I'm actually redoing this masterclass for you so you can watch it without all of the distractions, as well as seeing Abby's personal message. If we haven't met, my name is Rhonda, and I am so excited that you have registered for my Scaling Secrets Masterclass. Now, before we get started, I just want to let you know when I share my screen, you're going to see this kind of tunnel vision. And when you see the tunnel vision, I will freeze for a minute, but then it should pick up and we should see my desktop, which will actually be Abby's video message that she recorded before she left. And then we'll get straight to the slides because I am known for getting down to business. All right. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to screen share my entire screen. Here we go. You should see the tunnel vision. And now we should be presenting to everybody. So what you should be seeing right now is my screen right here in front of me. So this is a quick message that I just wanted to play for you that Abby recorded before she left.
Hey, Abby, Ashley here. I'm so excited for this webinar, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person. I'm actually hanging out in Disneyland today with my family, but I wanted to shoot this quick video just to introduce you to my good friend Rhonda. A lot of you guys know her as the co-founder of Savvy Tech, our tech training lab, but she is more than just a tech genius. She is also an automation specialist. She has grown a multi-six-figure business using automation and delegation, and she also runs so much of her personal life with automation as well, and a lot of really cool secrets and tips. And so when she came to me with this idea for a masterclass specifically for those ready to scale, I said, yes, let's do this 100%. I know that there's a lot of people who really need this in our virtual assistant community. So yeah, I just wanted to introduce her and let you guys know this is going to be really good stuff. So make sure you are taking notes. Without further ado, Rhonda.
Yay. So it worked that time and you actually got to hear the whole thing without the lag that we had before. So here we go. We are going to start this presentation without the clicking noise. And I hope that you can clearly hear me because there's some good stuff coming your way. So welcome, welcome, welcome to the Scaling Secrets Masterclass. My promise to you is that I'm going to show you how to maximize your most valuable asset, which is your time. I'm going to protect that asset. The fact is that we have the same 168 hours a week. It is how we use those hours that makes all the difference in the world. Spending time scaling your business while you are running your business. And let me say that again, spending time scaling your business while running your business absolutely has to be productive and efficient because you don't want to waste your time, more importantly, the motivation and money. This masterclass is for business owners who are generating consistent sales and income each month, business owners who have some tools or systems in place but aren't quite using them to their fullest capacity, and that's okay. Business owners who are ready to take the next step. You're like, yes, I am in. Let's do this. Let's organize and scale my business. So here it is. If you stay till the end, I'm going to give you my Workflow Wizard worksheet. That's a lot of alliteration if you say that 10 times fast. But this is really, it's the same worksheet that I have used to build and scale a multiple six-figure business, not once, but twice. And it really is a very easy 4-step system that we're going to cover here in the masterclass. So in order to maximize our time together, please turn off your cell phone, turn off your Facebook notifications. I've got everything turned off. I have warned everyone in my house. It is nice and quiet. We are going to do this. I am known for getting down to business and not sharing fluff. As my son would say, ain't nobody got time for that. So who am I? If we have not met, my name is Rhonda Melogy. I define myself by my why. I am a homeschooling soccer mom at heart with 4 children who had 4 children in 5 years. So yes, that was a lot of diapers, but I would not change my experience for the world. Over the past 15 years, I have built a business that is larger than your local Target. And I use that as an example because I know we all do Target runs. So it's larger than your local Target and serve thousands and thousands of families twice a year. This is actually a very unique niche in that it is a seasonal children's consignment sale. Way back when, 15 years ago, when I started, I launched with 100 consigners and probably about 10, 20,000 items. Today, we're going to fast forward ahead and I cap registration, meaning I stop, I turn it off at 650 participants. Because of the systems and workflows that I've built in my business, I've actually been able to step away, which is what you ultimately want in your business. You want to be able to step away and your business still run. I have a director that actually runs the event and she manages now 50 staff members and over 400 volunteers. So this is, it's not a small undertaking, but it's systems and workflows that have literally streamlined this whole process. And to be honest with you, we're only physically open in a space 8 days a year, and that's it. In the past year and a half, I've co-founded a tech membership site that has over 440 service providers and has generated well over $100,000 at this point. And I have coached folks who have wanted to launch their own children's consignment sale, as well as those sale owners that are established, and hundreds of service providers at all stages of their business, from beginning to scaling. Now, if I were to say, what is my superpower? Like, what do I eat for breakfast? Besides oatmeal, is that I can take an idea and a task, those big ideas, those big tasks, and break them down into manageable, step-by-step actions and complete them. That is my superpower. I love this. I geek out on it. And we're going to see why here in just a few minutes. My role here today is to walk you through a system that I have used for over 15 years to systematize, automate, and scale my business. I shared with you that just a little bit into a multiple 6-figure business. Now, here's the key. I haven't done it just 1 year, and now all of a sudden I'm turning around and trying to talk about a system. I have generated multiple 6 figures, not 1, not 2, but 10 years and counting. Now, wait a minute, do the math there. She's been in business 15 years. I mean, obviously, when I first started, I wasn't generating 6 figures in sales. So it took me a little while. But as soon as I did, literally reaching over 400,000 in sales in just 8 days. And we do it year after year after year. So what I'm trying to say by this is that it has taken me a lot of time, but the systems and things that I use are very focused, intentional, and results oriented. So I want us to put on our goggles, looking into the future, and I want you to imagine a day in the life of your business when you have an automation strategy that puts part of your business on autopilot. And the funny thing is, my husband is a helicopter pilot and does use the autopilot. You have a system that clearly identifies where you can delegate in your business and basically writes the job description, hashtag the one thing that we're going to focus on. We're going to get into it. You have a system that flips your current package into an offer that you can scale and your team can implement. If you've answered yes to any of these above statements and I have triggered that giddy excitement bumps, you're like, I am in. You are in the right place and you were born to scale your business. Okay, so the 3 things that we're going to cover today. Number 1, the first step to automation in your business. Number 2, what you need to know about delegation and building your team. Number 3, flipping that current package offer into a business intensive model. Now, the first time we went through this, a lot of people got really excited about all 3 of these steps. So I hope that you are just as excited in the replay. Grab a notebook, a pen, and let's get started. Now, what I want to do is I want to take us throughout this whole masterclass. I'm going to be referring to the service provider journey. So let's just take a look. I wish 15 years ago I knew about this opportunity or I started to explore this opportunity, because I love the fact as a service provider, you're actually paid to learn. You're paid to learn what you really like. That is amazing. And it's a low startup cost. You launch your business with an hourly wage. I always recommend that you launch at a minimum of $30 an hour. There's so many hidden fees that we don't take account of when we say, oh, I'm just going to charge 20. Oh, I'm just going to charge 25. Always start at $30 an hour and go up from there. I have to take a drink because I get really excited. You're in the honeymoon phase of your business, meaning you're figuring everything out, from onboarding new clients, scheduling to complete the work, what tools you need, starting workflows, but they're not really defined yet. Then you start to bring on more clients, and now you're being more efficient with your time, and it's really your situation that is forcing you into these workflows so you can be more efficient with your time. And for you, the first increase in revenue in your business is moving from an hourly rate to a package rate. And those packages are based on a workflow. So let's get into the first step to automation in your business. The first question that we have to answer is, what is a workflow? I mean, I've said it now probably 20 times, if you noticed. A workflow is a sequence of steps to complete a specific task. So a sequence of steps to complete a specific task. Next, we need to differentiate between a workflow and a to-do list, because a lot of times I hear them being interchanged, and they're really two different things in my mind. As women, I think we are fantastic to-do list generators, but it is important to understand that difference. And the difference is, a to-do list is an overwhelming brain dump. We're getting into that time of year. It is fall, and we are starting to think about all of those activities, back to school, work, all of the things that we do, and we start to get stressed out. 9 times out of 10, women carry around all of those things and their business tasks in their brain to a point where it becomes so overwhelming, they sit down with a cup of coffee or their favorite beverage and they write everything out. And then you look at it and you're almost paralyzed to make a movement. You have no idea where to move. It's out of your brain, but now you're looking at it visually on a sheet of paper. So that to-do list is the overwhelming brain dump. A workflow is a sequence of steps to complete a specific task. Just like I said, workflow 20 times, I'm going to repeat this definition 20 times. But a workflow in your business is really your how-to guide. Its purpose, again, is a step-by-step instruction in order to complete one task. A workflow can be a document, a video, or a checklist. It could be manual, so you could be using a project management tool like Trello or Asana. I always say, don't get caught up in the tool, pick one, learn it like the back of your hand, and move on. Or it could be automated. So you could be using something like 17 Hats or Dubsado. Again, don't get caught up in the tool, pick it, learn it, and move on. Now, there are 4 steps to create a workflow. Number 1, list all the tools and resources needed to finish the task. Number 2, list every step taken to mark the task as complete. You try it, and then you tweak and you optimize it. Now I'm going to pause right here because I want to give you a really good visual example of an everyday task that you may or may not, depending on where you live in the world, that you have completed. And I use the example, my children do weekly presentations. And part of that is to do a demonstration presentation, how to do something. So when you think of how to create a workflow or what a workflow really is, I want you to think of the example of how to make a peanut butter sandwich. Very simple, right? And as soon as I said how to make a peanut butter sandwich, you're probably thinking, I need peanut butter, I need jelly, I need bread. Do I need to toast it? I know I need a knife. So you're starting to come up with all the tools and resources, and you're already starting to take those steps to put things in order. So I want you to take that very, very simple idea, and I want you just to think about one task in your business and do the same thing. We're going to run through an example of a Facebook Live because I think the results will shock you. Now, before a workflow, the Facebook Live strategy is I'm going to set up my phone and pop on for a quick Facebook Live. But there's a problem with that. Let's take a look. There is no plan. There is no system. There is no strategy. Results questionable, and it's a waste of time. Remember when we started, I said I was going to protect your most valuable asset, which is your time. Don't do things in your business that are not going to give you a return on that investment of time. I need you to qualify that time as a dollar amount. But after a workflow, we have a strategy. Now we have an asset, which ultimately supports the 3 goals that everybody in business wants: more traffic, more leads, and more sales. Let's take a look. So when we're thinking about a Facebook Live, you're like, well, we don't need that many tools. You need some tools. Let's look. A script outline. Zoom is what I recommend, but I'm going to cover some other tools. A webcam, a lead magnet, an email sequence, Canva, ConvertKit, ManyChat, and Tailwind. And you're thinking, oh my goodness, I had no idea there was so much involved with a Facebook Live. Let's get to the steps. Number 1, create a script based on the topic. So we're going to have one topic, and we're going to have 4 scheduled pieces of content, and we're going to create a script. I always recommend that you use a template. And why do you need a script? A script is going to help you not forget something. It's going to lead you down the path so you don't go down a rabbit hole. And it's always going to prompt you to give a call to action. You have to have a call to action with everything that you do. Otherwise, why do it? Remember, we're protecting your time. Creating a lead magnet. So that call to action is opt in for XYZ, which is that lead magnet, which is what? A PDF template that you have with your branding. It's in Canva, so it streamlines it and makes it so easy. You're going to schedule a Facebook Live in Zoom or Be Live. Now, Be Live makes the graphics really pretty. I like Zoom. It can record to the cloud, so you actually have this as an asset. It's really, really important with your Facebook Lives, and we'll get into this, that when you actually schedule the Facebook Live, you do it on your Facebook page or your client's Facebook page. That is to say, you should also schedule, if you have a group, your client schedules a group, you should also schedule this Facebook Live as an event in the Facebook group. Include the Facebook Live announcement in a weekly email. You're like, wow, she's going an extreme. I am, because Facebook is going to look at you are driving traffic to Facebook. Facebook loves itself. So let's share the love, right? And let's drive traffic. And you want to do that. The next thing that we're going to do, and maybe or maybe not you haven't done this, is to create a Pinterest graphic. And that template, of course, is in Canva. If you're using messenger bots, schedule ManyChat broadcast. Again, we're driving traffic to a live. We want to see what that interaction is. And as soon as you start getting engagement and you start getting more views, then Facebook is going to show it into more feeds. Now we're going to schedule the Pinterest pin in Tailwind. This is a very interesting strategy if you think about it. We are actually using a traffic driver, which is Pinterest. And now, instead of sending it to a blog post, we're going to send that traffic to the Facebook Live, okay? And you can do that in a graphic. You're going to load that lead magnet in ConvertKit that you've already created from a template that you have in Canva. We're going to write an email sequence because you don't want to just have somebody opt in and not nurture them, right? We've got to take your potential customer on a journey. Next, we're going to add all of that wonderful automation. We're going to tag, and then we're going to hit it where that triggers the email sequence. We're going to write the description for the Facebook Live. And this is what is going to be, when your call to action, hey, in the description, click on the link. You're going to add that ConvertKit link. You're going to definitely use a template. And believe it or not, at this point now, you can go live. Amazing, right? You're going to go live on your Facebook page, and then you're going to share it into the group. The reason why is that when you have finished, what you can do is you can take this Facebook, the live that you've done on the Facebook page, and you can actually create a low-cost video view ad to generate an audience. And then you target the audience with a product or a service. So you see how both of those things work. You see how it's important to get the social proof, to get the views on that Facebook Live. Later, we're going to pop back and we're going to look at analytics. Analytics are the roadmap to your business. We're going to check the Facebook. We're going to check Facebook. and then we're going to reschedule. It's not a one and done. If this live is doing really well, share it on the page, share it into the group, because you're constantly getting new blood on your page or your client's page, as well as in your group. They may not have seen this. You're also going to check Google Analytics. And the great thing about this is you can see the pins that are doing well, schedule them again. And you may get some content or product ideas based on how well the live is doing. But ultimately, now we have a strategy, we have a system to complete this Facebook Live. So what's next? We're going to try it, and it's going to take you longer to do something like this. And you're thinking, holy moly, I don't ever want to do another Facebook Live. If you want this valuable piece of content as an asset, you will do it. This is a whole package right here in and of itself for a client. You'll tweak and optimize the steps until it's dialed down, meaning that you could do this in your sleep, but we're still using the workflow. Keep it out of your head and keep it in your project management tool. And we implement it over and over and over again. It'll almost be a game to see how efficient you can be. I do want you to keep an open mind, and your workflow needs to be fluid. What I mean by that is even 15 years later, some of the workflows that I'm using, I'm still constantly updating, because there can be tools that come along that help me to further streamline, right, and make things easier. So it's not a rigid document, it's not a rigid process, but it is a fluid process that I can continue to update, because we're trying to what? Tweak and optimize, tweak and optimize. Once you get the steps in, that's easy. The fun part is tweaking and optimizing. So let's recap. So we went from no strategy, hopping on with our phone and doing a quick Facebook Live, to literally 17 steps to complete one task. If you don't have a workflow, it's jumbled up in your head with your grocery list. I mean, let's face facts here. The workflow helps you not miss a step because you were interrupted. What if you were working and your child comes up, or your dog needs to go, outside, or you get a phone call, whatever it is, you don't miss a step. You can come back. And then two, you have to think about some of those steps actually come later, like the example of the analytics. We don't know what those analytics look like. And really, once a month, you should be looking, at least once a month, you should be looking at those analytics. If you're looking at the Facebook analytics, you should be looking at them on a weekly basis to help you with scheduling content on the page, right? The great thing about using a workflow is now you're producing a consistent product. Your audience is going to come to know what the flow of your Facebook Live is. They're going to know that you are offering them value, and that the lead magnet that you're offering, that call to action, it's something that they're going to come to want to get, okay? You're being very efficient with your time. Initially, it is going to take you longer, but you will get faster and faster and faster. And now workflows will help you build your team. So let's take a look about how that's going to work. Workflows, and I'm going to say this multiple times, workflows, it's the key to everything, in my opinion. Workflows are the workhorse of your business. Let's pick up that service provider journey and see where we are. So we've gone from hourly when we launched, and now we're moving to a package. So that's our first increase in revenue. But our business reaches capacity, meaning we can't take in any more clients, even though we are being more efficient with our time. The next phase of growth, which we're going to talk about, is delegation. But I am going to caution you, just because you think that you can delegate does not mean all of a sudden you're going to be making more money. Think about it. It's almost like a stop. You have like a readjustment period. Because why? You've got an increase in expenses. So you're going to stabilize, and then you're going to grow, because now you have opened up the capacity to bring in more clients because you are delegating. It's not you doing everything. So let's take a look at delegation and building your team. When is the right time to delegate in your business? I have two answers to this. Number one, they're actually upside down, but workflows in place. You know that this is true based on what I just shared with you. And then generating consistent income. I want to stop here and talk about generating consistent income for just a second. If you're not generating consistent income and you try to bring someone onto your team, you're setting yourself, you're setting your business, and you're setting your team member up for failure. They could be the most awesome team member you will ever hire. But here's the thing. If you don't have money and you have to dip into the family savings in order to pay them, you're going to find excuses of how to get rid of them. You're going to find faults with their work. If you don't have the workflows in place, what's going to happen? I give this analogy. It's like cleaning the house before the cleaning lady comes. You're going to bring someone on. Who knows what job description? Who knows what skill set that you're bringing on? There is no consistency. There is no set expectation. Then you're going to very quickly throw something together. Could you imagine putting together that workflow for the Facebook Live that we just went through, the 17 steps? I bet you'll get halfway through it and think, I can't do this. Nobody's going to be able to do this the way I do it. And there's too much stuff. There's too many pieces and parts. Forget about it. I'm just going to continue down the path that I'm going right now. And you give up on scaling your business. Okay. Really important, consistent income and workflows in place. I'm going to give you 3 steps to building this team. Number 1, we're going to use a workflow. I've already given you that 4th step. And remember, stick with me till the end because I am giving you the workflow wizard worksheet. I love that alliteration. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this workflow and we're going to do a screen recording. And I recommend using a free software like Loom. And you want to do the how and the why. Why you're doing what you're doing and how you do what you do. When we do that and we have a workflow plus a video, now we have a training manual. And more importantly, let me see if it's the next one. Yes, you have a job description. It's a specific skill set that you're looking for. You are not literally writing a job description to replace yourself. I see this all the time in groups. I'm like, there's absolutely no way. And it is to complete a specific task, not 500 tasks, right? And it sets your business and your team up for success. You're going to be so happy. The result is freedom of time, but I want to be careful here. It's freedom of time to focus because ultimately, just like with my offline business, the way that now I'm able not to be detached, but to remove myself, but my business still generates sales is because I was able to delegate. I was able to use workflows. They implemented those and I could focus on other areas, other phases, and just do the same system. And you do it for everything over and over and over again until it is running itself. Then you remove yourself. I don't want to free up your time to do more work. I want to free up time so you can go do the things that you want to do, whether it's spending more time with your kids, with your spouse, your partner, traveling, exercising, whatever that is. And then you can be generating your income at the same time. That's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. So let's recap. Everything starts with a workflow. We do a screen recording of the workflow, which results in the training manual. It's the how, the why. It sets expectations. And so it's not go do this and it comes back and you're like, no, this is not going to work. And then it takes you more time to redo it. And then you think, okay, we're not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to delegate, right? It's a seamless transition, meaning it's a seamless transition from you doing it to now delegating to a team member. Here's the thing, you need to allow for grace because it's probably going to take your team member longer than it takes you to complete the task at first. But because you've hired for a specific skill and a skill set, they're going to get really good. They're going to add their spin, and more than likely, they're going to exceed your expectations. That workflow identifies that skill set and it creates that job description. Let's go back to that service provider journey and pick up and see where we are. So we've gone from hourly to package. Your business reaches capacity. Now we're going to delegate. We're building a team. But then your business reaches capacity. So what is the next step? How can we generate more revenue? The next phase of growth is now selling strategy. And you're like, oh, that sounds really scary. It really makes me uncomfortable. It is what you do every day. It is based off your experience. It is based off the workflow. That's why I started right here, right with this workflow, because it's critical. It's the most important part of the whole puzzle. So let's take a look at packages to the business intensive model. So how does a business intensive model work? you're really duplicating the discovery call strategy that you're currently doing. So you have you qualify a client, you have a discovery call, and you are selling a package. So the exception here is you have a discovery call, and now you're selling your expertise. You're selling your strategy. All of these things should work in tandem with one another. You should always be able to qualify the potential client, then choose whether or not you're going to hand out that discovery call link. If it's a yes, then you use a discovery call sales script and you lead them down a path. It's a 15-minute call. And at this point, instead of selling them a package to complete work, you are selling your expertise. So let's look at how I've broken down the 5 steps to a business intensive. You're going to qualify your potential client through the questionnaire. I just gave that away. I get excited. The discovery call is that you're going to now sell a strategy session. Those range anywhere from $297 to $597. And this all depends on your comfort level. I have heard of business intensives that are $3,000. So just wherever your comfort level is, you might want to start on the lower end. And as you build up your confidence, you start increasing your price, just like we did from hourly to package, now package to intensive. The client completes an in-depth questionnaire, and the questions are based on your current system. So you know that initial strategy call that you have with your client, you ask them all those questions. Well, you just create a form and they fill it out. You do a 60 to 90-minute live session to clarify, and then you just fill in the blanks. It's all template based. So the deliverable that they've already paid you for is now this strategy. It's a recorded call. Use Zoom. It's free. And it's an action plan. And you give the client 2 choices. They either DIY or your team, which you have been building, implements. Oh my gosh. Okay. We just need to take a moment here because I'm a systems nut and this is over the top. I eat this up. I love this. I hope you're getting excited about it and can see what the potential is. I think, the way that I break things down is, things that are unknown are abstract. And those abstract things are scary. But when you can put like a concrete, tangible, it's a template that I'm using, it's a Q&A that I'm doing, I can totally do that. Now it makes it so much more reachable. And it makes it so much more obtainable when you break it down. I love it. All right. But here's the thing. I have taken that workflow, and here is the package. So it's create the lead magnet, create the Facebook Live. You do all the scheduling, the Pinterest graphic. You load the lead magnet in ConvertKit. You write the email sequence analytics. And now we have the low-cost video view Facebook ad. So you see how this workflow is the foundation for everything, and I've given it to you in 4 steps. Hashtag amazing. Recap. Okay. The business intensive model is a paid strategy session. It's all it is. It sounds really scary. It's not. A lot of times you probably, if you're not using a discovery call sales script, you're probably already doing this and not getting paid for it. If you have been on a call for an hour, hour and a half, and all you've done is told them how to do something, you've already done the intensive model, you just weren't paid. The intensive model is based off your experience while building your business and implementing workflows to complete a specific task. You know all the tips and tricks. You know how to, what I call, jump people in front of the line. It's the Disney Fast Pass, and get the results. That's what they're paying you for. They don't have to do all of those mistakes. They don't have to waste the time and the money. Because quite frankly, we've already done that as service providers, right? To figure out how to complete something. It's a template-based system that guides you through the session. The questions you are asking during the initial consultation to complete the work, those are all the things, the session, the actual questionnaire, those are all those initial asks, right? In the first strategy session. And the templates are based off of workflows. So now, you're like, okay, where are we going with this? I've just showed you how to scale your business. So let's take a look at the next step, just looking into the future, because this totally just ties this up with a bow. We've gone from hourly to package. Your business reaches capacity. We start delegation and we build a team. Remember the one thing, the one skill set. Your business reaches capacity. So how can we generate more revenue? The business intensive. And with a business intensive, not only are you getting paid for the strategy, but I will tell you, if you're really good at what you do and they're paying you for the strategy, more than likely, they're going to pay you to complete the task. But you've already been building a team, so you can delegate it. But ultimately, even with this business intensive, the next natural progression when your business reaches capacity is to now be a course creator. Every step of the way is building your confidence. And I mean, it's like when you do something over and over and over again, you become more efficient. You become more confident. Why? Because you're getting results. And while today you might not be ready to be a course creator, you may never ever want to be a course creator. You could stay right here at Business Intensive, but it's always a possibility of what you can do. And these are really the 4 steps into doing that. So at this point, you have a process to create a workflow, you have a process to delegate, and you have a process to turn your packages into a paid strategy session. I told you I get to the meat and potatoes of things. So you're like, heck yeah, how do I get started? I shared with you these 3 strategies to get you started in scaling your business, but truly, it's just the tip of the iceberg. Because those strategies alone are not going to solve all of kind of those back end things that I know that you're already starting to think about, all the systems that you need to take your business to the next level. So I want to introduce to you Scaling Secrets Mastermind. Let's take a look. What is Scaling Secret Mastermind? It is an intensive 8-week live drip content program, say that 10 times fast, that is designed to equip you to automate, to build the team, and to create an intensive business model offer. Here's the thing, because you are running your business while scaling your business, and I know when it comes to your business, things get pushed way down on the list of things to do, right? It is weekly content based on what you need to be doing. The content is matched with tech tutorial that you need. The content is also matched with a swipe file because I know you're running your business and you need to implement quickly. And the content is matched with the support you need. Every step of the way, and we're going to go through the modules that are involved. Obviously, there are 8 of them, but every single one of those modules, I thought, what does she need to it just be an all-inclusive, all in? I want to put everything that she needs at her fingertips because she's already busy and it needs to be easy to implement. How can we do that? So I want you to think of the content. If you needed a tech tutorial, it's there. If you needed a swipe file, it is there. And the support is 110% there. So let's take a look at what that complete experience is like. It includes the mindset because, you know, unfortunately, in today's society, we are surrounded with a lot of negativity. And in running a business, you know, some days are going to be amazing and you're going to be on cloud 9. And some days you want to stay in bed and pull the covers up over your head. So I do talk about mindset, and there are activities that we do throughout the mastermind that really search for, seek, and find those positive experiences and actions that are going on in your day. We talk about the strategy that you need to be implementing, the swipe files, the tech tutorial, and I call it customer care support. I want you to feel like you have gone to either, if you're a 5-star resort girl or if you're an Airbnb bed and breakfast girl with a snuggly, the snuggly robe, I want you to know that you were supported and taken care of. This is a small, intimate group. This is not a large, 200-person program. This is focused on you and what you need in your business. And it's a dedicated network. This program does not include a Facebook group. This program includes a dedicated network. I invested in the network as a home base to organize, communicate, and build community. And the tools within the Mighty Network are amazing and really fosters those connections and networking within the community. I do really quickly, I'm going to share what Heather had to say. Just wanted to drop in and say how much I appreciate the wisdom and knowledge being shared here. I actually added travel to my offerings last week, and I'm actually using every single thing being taught here already, systems. The reason I share this with you is I hope that you have seen through this masterclass that, again, I am focused, I am intentional, I am results oriented. I don't give you fluff. I give you the things that will work in your business. So what is included? Obviously, we're looking at 8 modules. Again, the first 2 weeks are really those things that you know that you should be doing, but you push down because you're working on other people's stuff. We're going to focus on you. And then we're going to optimize what your offering is, your website, your project management tool, your other tools, social media, your email marketing. We're going to optimize those step by step. We're going to scale. We're going to lay the groundwork for scaling when it comes to workflows. This is all about workflows, when to delegate, how to delegate, creating that job description. It's going to be a workflow for everything in your business. It's going to take a while, but it's the first step in automation, just as I have described. All things offers. We're going to do a really fun rates and package exercise. I give you a spreadsheet. It's called the a la carte pricing sheet, and it's fun to play with. We're going to take a look at that workflow that we have now turned into a package, and the package now we're going to turn into the intensive, and we're going to price it out. Next, we look at marketing. You know, that email list that you need to get around to generating. Guys, I can't tell you and stress to you enough, email marketing, your email list is truly the cornerstone of your business. You know, 15 years ago when I started, we were partnering with Infomel because I worked with first-time moms, and they donated formula. And part of that, they gave us these sheets. So they would write their name and they would write their email. We would take that information, even way back when I had no idea what I was doing, a volunteer would input that into an Excel spreadsheet. And at the time, I would upload that to Constant Contact, and I built my email list. Today, when I open up what I call my pre-sale or my early registration, meaning they get a discount on the consignor fee, 300 people in less than 24 hours will register and pay to participate. And you're like, well, of course they will. That is your niche. That is what you want. You want a responsive email list that when you put a call to action out, they listen. We're going to do that. And I can't wait. This email sequence is really important to nurture the people that come into your world, your sphere, I should say. All things funnels. We're going to talk about funnels. We're going to break it down. Funnels is kind of like that workflow and to-do list. You know, they're interchanged. We're going to talk about funnels, the funnel elements, and building the funnels using ClickFunnels. It is the tool that I recommend. Now, you're like, well, I'm not ready for that. That's okay. This is kind of that next step. It is there for you when you are ready. And I've got a whole bunch of stuff around ClickFunnels. I've got tech tutorials. I actually have a funnel that takes you from start to finish, that you literally, when you load it into ClickFunnels with one click of the link, and you start using ClickFunnels, you can literally just change out the information for your information, and you can get started, which is so helpful because when I started way back when with ClickFunnels, probably 2 years ago, I spent $1,500 alone on having somebody help me build a funnel. It's very expensive, but you don't have to worry about it because I've done it for you. Webinar marketing strategy. I want you to think about this. This is really exciting. It's very similar to what we're doing today. It is not having 500 people sign up for a webinar and you want so many people to come into your product. You could do that, but this particular webinar is based on the business intensive model. And so really doing 2 of these webinars a month, scheduling time out, and really having 20 people register, because the call to action at the end of that webinar is not a product. Well, it is, but it is to sign up for a 15-minute discovery call with you, then to turn around and sell them that strategy session. So what we do this month, you're preparing for next month, or your sales for next month, or your work that you're doing for next month, okay? There's a lot that goes into that: the slide deck, designing the webinar, the pre-webinar email sequence, the post-webinar email sequence, and that call to action at the end. We have paid marketing, which Facebook ads, we have to face it. And we give you some tips and tricks, as well as promoted pins on Pinterest. Guys, I think that this is, promoted pins are probably 2 to 3 years behind Facebook, but don't ignore them. And we're going to go ahead and put our toe in the water. Tech tutorials. So you're like, okay, so that was 8 modules. And I told you I drip out the content week by week. The way it happens is I drip the content on Monday, and then we do a follow-up later in the week. Tech tutorials that I'm offering, which is, look at this: Dubsado, ClickFunnels, Trello, Facebook Ads Manager, Pinterest Promoted Pin, Google Hangouts, Google Analytics, all of these tech tutorials. Heck, one of these alone could be a couple of $100. But I told you, I looked at, what we were doing each week. I did the outline for every single week. And I'm like, what are the tools and resources that someone is going to need? I love the tech tutorials because it's something that you can constantly come back to and reference, because some of these things are things that you're not going to be doing every single day. And you're going to get to that one point, that one thing that you can't figure out, like me with WordPress several years ago. Oh, anyway, the templates and swipe files. The reason why we do the templates and swipe files is because I want you, again, you're running your business, and I want you to be able to quickly take it, implement it, edit it, make it your own, and move forward. We don't need to be thinking about it. I think sometimes we just get focused and we just get so bogged down with things. You've got the client intake questionnaire, which we talked about, the invitation to schedule the email, or no, thank you. Here are some other opportunities I think that would work better for you. That client testimonial questionnaire, the a la carte pricing sheet. I give you a webinar slide deck, so you input your information, but it is a system. It is a process. The intensive questionnaire template, the intensive report template, and then the ClickFunnels. I told you I give you everything. It's the opt-in, the tripwire, the one-time offer, the webinar registration, webinar viewing room, which you're doing right now, the order page, and order confirmation. So you literally click on the link and you have this. You can change out my information with yours and you're ready to go. So now you're like, what? This is hashtag amazing. So now we're going to get into the bonuses. So, and this is interesting because when we were live on the call, I offered this Facebook Live playbook with the live coaching. So now we're into the replay. What I'm offering, if you purchase today, let's just say you purchase, by, what day or do we want to throw out here? Today is Tuesday. Let's say that you purchased by Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Since this is a replay, I'm going to offer the Facebook Live Playbook. The reason being, it's a great asset. It's the checklist that you need, equipment list, the content planner, the script template, how to promote your live. It's really the missing strategy to be confident when you go live. I had offered the live coaching, but that has to do when the folks that, were on live with me. So if you do purchase now, we'll just say, and I'll go ahead and I'll just take this out, that purchase, then you can get the Facebook Live Playbook. Because it was my fault that, I don't know, everything was just kind of wonky and we had some tech issues earlier. So I really want you to, it's a really nice PDF. I have got to give credit where credit was due. My team member, Rachel, has done a fantastic job. They are gorgeous PDF templates for all of these things. And the workbook that she's put together is crazy. She did the logo and everything. I love it. So in addition to that playbook, let's take a look at some of the other bonuses. I told you I invested in a dedicated space for our community. It is the Scaling Secrets Mighty Network. It organizes the resources. People are in there now. It's a beautiful, I love the fact that I'm off of Facebook. So I don't get gone down a rabbit hole. I don't get sucked in by all these other notifications. It is so refreshing. Our live sessions will be there. Connections can be made. The community is going to be built. We are only as strong as our community. And guys, I want a really, really strong community. The Facebook Community Strategy Guide, I get this question a lot about, do I use prompts or how do I increase engagement within a Facebook community? So we're going to set you up for success. The 5 questions to guide your community strategy, the formula for success. You need to have a content planner. We need to plan the content that we're actually doing within the Facebook group, the community launch checklist, and the top 5 lessons I've learned managing groups. I've managed anywhere from 100 to 20,000 members, including how to set up an ambassador program, which is really delegation. It is bringing folks on to help you run the day-to-day running of your group. Don't start a group without a strategy, because just like that Facebook Live, I'm going to use my phone and hop on and do a Facebook Live. Don't do that. Don't start a group without a strategy, because then it'll just kind of sit there and nothing will happen. People will get in your group and they're like, why am I here? What can we do? And the Facebook groups can be really, really valuable resources to you and your business. Visibility and networking. So this is one of the things. I love this. I love this board. It's a Trello board. And I actually, this week, it was published. Lisa York's Super Mom podcast episode went live. I love the conversation. What I'm going to do is, and I use this all the time, it's a Trello board for a central location for all of my branding. So my elevator pitch, if someone says, hey, can you give me a quick bio? What do you do? My headshot, the podcast pitch email template, the Facebook group pitch email template, they're all in there. I choose the podcast as well as the Facebook group. The reason being, podcasts are great because you can get the backlinks, which are going to help you with your SEO, and it's going to expose you to a new audience. Facebook groups are great. You can test out new content, new webinars, new trainings, and you certainly, after you have tested that out, you're going to bring new people into your community. So I recommend either the podcast or the Facebook group. I have done both. And this Facebook group pitch, I've actually done trainings that have helped add bonuses to people's programs and courses and things that they've offered. The other thing that we're going to do, so I didn't want to say this out loud when we were going through it. So the content is dropped on a Monday, and then we have a live session on Thursday. I know we're kind of creatures of habit. And for me personally, and I see this with my event all the time, if I give people a deadline, they meet it. Like literally Saturday night at 8 o'clock to Sunday at 1 o'clock, they can literally tag 15,000 items because I give them a deadline. Otherwise, the sale is locked and they can't add anything else. Okay. So what we're doing is I'm offering a virtual workroom. This is a Zoom room. I know that working online gets lonely, can feel isolating. So you can schedule this, and within the network, I've already got them all scheduled. The Zoom link is there. You can add it to your Google Calendar. Mighty Networks is amazing. We're offering 8, so once a week. So every Tuesday, we're offering this virtual workroom session. So you hop in the room, stay as long as you like, get the work done. It's scheduled on your calendar. I do want to tell you that the sessions will not be facilitated. So it's just an opportunity for you to have a deadline, to hop online and get your work done. You do not have to work alone. This is talking about that complete experience. I want you to feel supported in every way. You never know, you might find a bestie here in this community. So let's talk about value. I actually used my a la carte pricing sheet, and when I priced everything out, I don't know why this is over. When I priced everything out and gave everything a value, from the group coaching calls to the network, the tech tutorials, the swipe files, the virtual workroom, the tech support, and I probably actually estimated on the low end versus the high end, because when you look at the network, that's $300 a month. And typically when you're having somebody run your community, a minimum is what you of $300 a month is what you charge. The total value of everything is $5,900. And you're like, all right, shut the front door. $5,900. Are you #insane? No, I'm not. Stay with me. Stay with me. When I talk about value and I talk about investment and money, we think about we're doing this for ourselves, so we want to put it off. So I want to address the value. And I want to talk about the 4 objections that typically come up when we're thinking about investing in ourselves. I don't have time to invest. How many times have you said, I don't have time for that? I say it all the time. Well, I try not to. I don't have the money to invest. I have a fear of failure. What if I fail? I'm very comfortable right now. What if I fail? Oh my goodness, what if I'm successful? What if this really does work? What does that mean? These are all very abstract ideas. I want you to think about your fear, and we're going to talk about it. Number 1, time, not money, is your greatest currency. I've said this throughout the whole masterclass. Time, not money, is your greatest currency. You are not valuing your time. Number 2, finding time in your weekly schedule to dedicate to scaling your business is 1,000% imperative for growth. I give you 2 opportunities. One with a virtual workroom, that's 2 hours. And then our follow-up session every Thursday where we cover the content that's dropped on Monday. It's a minimum of 3 hours. Now, you're like, do I have to spend all of that time? You don't. Some weeks are going to take more. Some weeks are going to take less, but on average, right? But finding the time. And actually, as soon as you purchase, you have access to some pre-work that we have created. And part of that is called the Time Management Rockstar. You're going to get jiggy with your schedule. You're actually going to audit your time. If you don't know where you're spending it, then you don't know how to manage it. And I'm going to help you with that. Number 2, investing in the right tools, team, and skills are the only investments that are going to take your business to the next level. Finally, growth doesn't happen doing the same thing that got you where you are today. So I don't know how you got where you are today. Maybe you invested in a course. Maybe you DIY'd all the way to where you are today and you're generating consistent income. I think that's fabulous. And I love the fact just that you've taken that initial step. As women, I find that is like one of the most important things that I carve out that space for me as Rhonda. For so many years, I was Anders' mommy, Maggie's mommy, Thomas's mommy, Jack's mommy. I've got to get all their names in there, Daniel's wife. And I love that role. Don't get me wrong. But it was also important as my own identity that I carve that space out for myself. And really what took my business from doing what I was doing, because I told you, generating 6 figures, it didn't happen in the first 5 years. So I really had to continue to up my ante. I had to change what I was doing each and every year. We talk all the time about the Facebook algorithm and how that changes. You should be changing your business all the time. Because if you sit where you are, then you're going to become complacent, and your customers, your audience is going to become complacent, and they're going to start to fall off. You have to continually be innovative, and you have to think of new ways and new strategies. Growth, also known as change, can be uncomfortable. It can be absolutely very uncomfortable. For me personally, I know I'm making progress when I feel uncomfortable. When you're questioning yourself, anytime you take yourself out of your comfort zone. I could have stayed in the seasonal children's consignment cell working 8 days. What's more than that? But physically being there, well, it's more than 8 days. But the event itself, just 2 months, I'll say 2 months out of the year, I could have stayed there. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's take a look. So at this point, you've got to ask yourself, if I do nothing today, like if I were to stay just with my event, if you choose not to invest in scaling your business, what will change? Will anything change at all, or will nothing change at all? It's kind of like that initial example of delegation. If you're not using workflows and then you hire somebody because you really like them, you thought that they were a good fit, and then you start writing out that workflow and it becomes overwhelming to you, and you know that you can't pass that information along. It's you want to stop. You're like, it's too much. It's overwhelming. So if you choose not to invest in scaling your business, what will change? 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 5 years, if you choose not to invest in yourself and your business. And this is where I was going. For me personally, taking me out of my comfort zone and my established business. Investing money in the next phase of my business journey. My business journey was important because I knew I was capable of more. I was capable of more just based on my experience. And I've even showed you what your journey looks like as a service provider, from hourly all the way to course creator. My fear of second guessing if I should take action, like what if? That fear was greater than the fear of failure. So I took action. I challenge you to show up for yourself and your business today. And when I say show up for yourself, is to put yourself first, because I know you're running your business while trying to scale, and you've pushed off those ideas. Not tomorrow, not next month, not next year, but today. So we talked about it. We said that for the total value of everything that I've shared with you, all of those hashtag amazing bonuses, the 8 modules, all of those tech tutorials, as well as the swipe files, $5,900 value. And you're like, okay, so what's this going to cost me? I want to know. $497. We're doing the beta launch right now. And the thing, I've got this question because I've talked a lot to some one-on-one clients who are now in the mastermind. You're going to get access to all the future updates. You'll get access to all the future bonuses, any other cool stuff. I'm not going to leave you hanging. I just, that's not the way I do things. I've launched programs before, and they're getting all of those additional bonus. They get all of those additional updates. Beta is the best. If you get in a really good beta, it will serve your business over and over again. And what I try to do with everything that I do, and I hope that you can see that through the masterclass, is I give you systems that you can continually use in your business and just really build strong foundations. So it's not something like do this and now you need to pay to do this, do this and now you need to pay to do this. I really give you tools that you can use right now and continue no matter where you are in your business journey. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to launch again until January 19th. It's not a hint of scarcity. It is the fact that when we close the cart, which is going to be on Monday, October the 1st at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when that cart closes, my focus for the next 8 weeks is this group of women. Okay. And so it's not, I have launched it. Now I'm going to go do a launch again. That's not it. The focus is the content. It's delivering the content. It is supporting my community. My team's focus is on this community. When we relaunch, and that will happen, I will probably launch this program 4 times a year. The price is going to increase to $997. The other thing is that this is limited seating. What does that mean? I want to focus on you. So we're not going to have 200 students in this mastermind. I have some ideas. We're not going to share everything. Can't show all my cards right now, but it is a limited seating. I want you to feel supported. I want you to feel like you are in a network. Okay. So I wanted just to be upfront with you. 14-day guarantee. So the refund, the last day for refund is October the 14th. On October 15th, all of the bonuses will be released. Certainly, we have our first session October 4th, which is that first week. In October, it's our welcome session. And then I start dropping the content the following Monday. Do you just want to share what some of my students have had to say about working with me? I'm a literal rock star. Thank you so much. And these are all so sweet. I mean, I think for me personally, I'm not motivated by money. And I know you're like, well, you're selling a course. How are you not motivated by money? For me, it is because I'm so fortunate in that my husband, we're a military family. He has been in the military 20 years, and his service to his country and his service of his family, I'm very, very thankful. But when I get things like this, that someone thinks that I'm a rock star outside my kids, or that they don't know how they would build their business without the tools that I prepared for them, it's impacting them in a way. That is a feeling, and I know you have probably felt that with your clients when they have given you kudos. That is something that, money can't buy. Now, with the same frame of mind, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to say, yeah, when I'm traveling to soccer practice and I've sold a tripwire, or, one of my courses have sold, I love that. I absolutely love that. And I see what the possibilities of that. I've got 4 kids. We've got college. I have one child who, will have medical bills. And so Yes, I contribute to my family's financial budget, but really it's things like this. It sounds crazy, but it sometimes you guys can make me cry. If you have seen Carol Jeffrey, she wrote me. I had no idea. You don't know the impact that people have with their words. Well, you do, because we see it in a negative way, but in a positive way. She impacted me so much. It's one of those things, that little indication that you're going down the right path. And her words that particular day on what I did with a very simple tutorial, how it impacted her and really changed the way that she did things. And she just wanted people to know. It was not prompted, and those are amazing. So I'm going to get off of that and I'm going to keep going. She's an awesome teacher. Yep. Love Rhonda Melogy. And here, this course was something I was missing. I'm nervous, but so excited to reboot and start taking on new clients with these awesome workflows. If you haven't studied this course yet, do so pronto. Your business will thank you. This is actually the Trellis system, right? This is the first one I did and said the exact same thing, hashtag worth every penny. The reason I shared these is because it had specifically to do with workflows in that training. So you're like, heck yeah, girl, I'm in. What do I need to do? So you're going to get that Facebook Live playbook. We need to purchase. You should have a button below. My husband's going to come in and you're going to hear that. So we want to get this Facebook playbook, which is yours. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch the replay. When you purchase, click on the button and you're going to get that live playbook. Whoops, too much. I accept PayPal or credit card. And then you're going to get a welcome email. You're going to get access to the Scaling Secrets dashboard, Scaling Secrets Mastermind dashboard. And then there's pre-work. So there's lots of fun things in there that you get to do. One is just like a really fun TED Talk. There's a personality test. There is a time audit. There is a goal sheet. And then how to access the mighty network. You want to be a part of that. Sticking around here to the end and doing the replay, you're getting that Workflow Wizard worksheet. Okay. So this is all going to happen. So just because we don't start until October 4th, we've got some really, really good things in there for you to do. There's the checklist. You print that off and then you just go to town. I had someone purchase today and she was just like, this is amazing. And she was just like posting and going through everything. I loved it. So the community is already hopping. So I would do a Q&A, but I can't do a Q&A because this is not live. If you've got questions though, one of the things that I will have you do, let me change we're editing this on the fly. We're going to go hello@multitaskingmaven.com. We had an issue with the chat roll earlier and folks we couldn't do the live Q&A. So hello@multitaskingmaven.com. If you hit me with a question, I am more than happy to answer the question. When you get to the sales page, there's also the mini chat bot. How can I help? I also can answer questions there. Glad to help, glad to answer. You know, maybe those questions that you have, some of the things I've already tried to address here. You know, how long do we have access? You have access to everything even after the 8 weeks. You're still in the community. We will continue to build the community with every launch, and you will continue to get the goodies. Again, that's the reason why beta pricing at a beta launch is amazing. The total value again is $5,900, $497 the launch price. You can pay in full, $497, or we have a payment plan, which is 2 payments of $267. I know it is a little bit more than $497, but it's just the processing cost. So that is why that payment plan is a little bit more expensive. But I want to really, you know, if you are interested and you want to hop in, you want to get into that limited seating that we have, definitely, you know, let's get in at $267 today. Again, we've got that Facebook Live playbook and by purchasing now. All right. So guys, let me really quickly, I'm going to go, no, Google Hangouts here. And now I'm going to stop. and you don't see me. And I don't know why. There you go. I was like, why didn't you see me? It's gotten dark outside since we've started. I want to thank you for your time. I hope the masterclass was helpful. I hope that you can see what my teaching style is. It's very methodical, very practical. I typically do step by step by step. That's how all of my tech tutorials are. If you've got any questions as we move through the mastermind, I always can create resources on the fly. That's why we're doing the beta round. Another thing is that this is a complete experience. It is from mindset, strategy, content, tech, and swipe, as well as community. I really wanted you to feel supported in your journey and taking that next step, because I know it's uncomfortable. And I wanted to try to be that nice fuzzy robe and make it as comfortable as possible as you take the next steps, because it's an amazing, amazing ride. And I'll have to say, when I started, didn't always make the right decisions. And I wasn't always successful, so to speak. I never say that I failed. I always say that I failed forward, because I always learn from those experiences. I have done everything from selling on Facebook, like live selling on Facebook. I trademarked a logo. I sold to hospitals. I sold on Zulily. I sold on Wayfair, on Amazon. And I just found that it didn't fit my season of life. It wasn't something that I wanted to continue down the path, invest myself in. And so I had to find my way. But I found my way, and through various experiences, I stepped outside of my comfort zone of my established business that I had for 15 years. And I'm kind of coming on the other side of that mountain. And I would love, 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 it would be a privilege to be a part of your journey. All you need to do is to click on the button below. Like I said, it's going to be a PayPal or credit card. I will tell you, Teachable is a little bit finicky, and I don't know why they're doing this. You probably have experienced this if you have either purchased or you are already a part of a course where you try to log on Teachable and it'll say something like not recognized, and it will send you an email. So if you start the checkout process and that happens, then just go to your email, click on that link to authenticate, and then you can finish your checkout process. If there are any problems at all, again, just email us at hello@multitaskingmaven.com. Just remember, limited seating. It's $4.97 now. It's the lowest it will ever be. You will have access to absolutely everything as I continue to relaunch it. My plans are to launch it 4 times next year. I'm not going to launch it anymore this year. My focus is just on you. My team is just on you for these next 8 weeks. We've got a wonderful community that we're already building in Mighty Network, and I love being offline. I love being out of Facebook. And the price increases from $4.97 to $9.97. Okay, and that's just, a lot of folks said that I should start there when we launched. And I'm like, that's not the way I like to do this. I like to do beta. I've got my outline. I've got my tutorials. I've got all of my stuff ready to go, but things can change. And, part of Savvy Tech and the success of Savvy Tech is listening to the concerns, listening to the tutorials and what you wanted to have. I've got the knowledge. I've got 15 years of experience. But if you need me to present that in a different way or to create a different resource for you, that's why we're running it on the beta, because your input is so important to this whole process. Okay, card is open. We are open until October 1st, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, all you gotta do is click on the button below this video. And one last little thing, this will put the cherry on top. Typically, when you sign up for a masterclass, you get the emails to remind you, and you get the emails at the end after the masterclass. It is really, really, really important. I have a surprise in the emails that are coming to you. Please, please, please open up every email. And I will give you the hint. It is the email with the video. There is an email with a video coming your way. And if you could think of like anything else, I don't want to give it away. This is going to put the cherry on top. I've already said too much. So I'm going to go click on the button. I would love to see you if you're ready to scale, if you're ready to feel a little bit uncomfortable. We're ready to help. We're ready to walk with you step by step by step. So we will see you soon in Scaling Secrets Mastermind.